All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. It was a very big, emphatic win at the 3 points lane as Chelsea majestically walked to the 3 points lane and gave a dominating performance against Tottenham Hotspur at their ground. The Blues edged it through a well-worked goal from João Pedro after a monster performance from Caicedo. But beyond the scoreline, there's a lot to unpack. Okay, the dominance, missed chances, tactical tweaks, and what this means moving forward. Let's get into the six talking points rather. All right, guys. So we'll start with the first, which is going to be the goal and Caicedo's impact. Okay, in the 34th minute, Chelsea or Kaisedo wins the ball from Mickey van der Ven and squares it to João Pedro for the finish. That one moment summed it up. And let's just quickly talk about Kaisedo. Okay, even though I already talked about him in the previous video. And the reason I'm going to be I'm talking about saying this is because of Jamie Carragher. Because after the game, he came on and said in his own, and I quote, in his own opinion, he feels that Kaisedo is behind Declan Rice in terms of hierarchy right now. And I think that I've come to the conclusion that Jamie Carragher is talking from a bitter side. And hear me out. Liverpool tried to sign Caicedo, and Caicedo turned Liverpool down because he already promised that he was going to be signing for Chelsea. The disappointment of from losing Caicedo to Chelsea is reason enough why Jamie Carragher, no matter what, will never agree to the fact that Kaisedo right now is the best midfielder in England. That's just what it is. Okay? Even if Kaisedo drops a better performance beyond what he did against Tottenham at the 3 points lane, Jamie Carragher will still not recognize him, and he's not recognizing him because he is pained that Kaisedo plays for Chelsea and not for Liverpool. Do you think that Moses Kaisedo playing for Liverpool, Jamie Carragher will still come out to say Declan Rice is better than Kaisedo? There you have the answer to yourself. Okay, so whatever Carragher says is only saying out of sheer bitterness and bias. It's okay for Declan Rice to be English and all that, and you want to support your English player and all that, but we fans that watch football already know that right now there are only two players, midfielders right now that are hot prospect, and they are the top of the game. And that's Moses Caicedo and Declan Rice. And I, for one, will just say this, that Caicedo is number one and Declan Rice can be number two. And he can drag the other position, fight for the other spot with the rest of those. But right now, Caicedo is leagues, like is okay. I don't want to get too carried away. Right now, Kaisedo is hotter and better than Declan Rice. That's just it. Okay, that's just it. And I'm not going to come back here to make a comment on that anymore. But if you look at it very well, if you watch the game, for those of us who watch the game, and I'm not saying Declan Rice is a bad player, and I'm not going to say that Kaisedo is leagues ahead of Declan Rice right now. Declan Rice is also doing his thing and doing it in a different level, on a different level, to be honest. But the fact still remains that for the kind of ground that Moses Caicedo covers, playing as a six, the reason why I'm saying Caicedo is better than Declan Rice is just simply owing to the fact that Declan Rice cannot play as a 6, and that's why Arsenal had to go get Zubimendi to cover for Declan Rice. But Kaisedo can play 8, can play the 6, and play very, very well without stressing. Do you understand? So that's just it. At some point, after the game, one of the journalists even came out to say that Kaisedo is up there with Rodri after the shift that Caicedo dropped at the 3 points lane. So to the second point, we'll talk about Tottenham's lack of attacking threat. Yes, on the day, Tottenham were bang average, and it kind of upsets me, or I feel disappointed that I had to it took me so long to prepare the lineup and pay attention to so much. If I had foreseen, or if I had foreseen that the performance that Tottenham dropped on the day was going to be this, I don't think I would have even bothered myself, to be honest. Okay, for some reason, having spent so much money getting players like Xavi Simons, Kolomwani, Mohamed Kudus, and other players like that, Tottenham was so reliant on Mohamed Kudus, and even still, it was in the pocket of Cucurella the entire game. That's how poor the whole Tottenham team or squad was. Yes, on Saturday. I keep mistaking Saturday to be Sunday. Okay, so Xavi Simons, for some reason, I'm so glad we dodged the bullet. He's so poor and bad. Why is he so bad? When he came on in place of Bergval, I thought, oh god damn it! I said to myself, not again. Xavi Simons would wreak havoc and all that. He did nothing. He did absolutely nothing. Kept losing the ball, giving the ball away, and would not even come back. Wouldn't make effort to try to win the ball and all that. Kudus was the only outlet Tottenham had on the day, and still yet Cucurella had him in his pocket. That's how bang average Richarlison comes, and it's just, I don't rate Richarlison, to be honest. For me, I really do not rate him. Spurs recorded just 0.05 xG, the lowest for any Premier League team this season. They dominated possession early, but offered almost nothing in the final third. The attacking output completely non-existent after the break. That's how bad Tottenham were on the day. And then we'll move on to the next point, which is Chelsea's dominance, but the lack of killer instinct on the day. The game against Tottenham at the 3 points lane, this particular game, it showed how good the team can be on when they decide to be switched on. If you understand what I mean. When they decide to be switched on and want to go for the game, Chelsea showed it. They demonstrated it. But the problem is the lack of killer instinct. Chelsea on the day could have scored close to at least 5 goals. And I said this in my previous video, my match reaction. Could have scored at least 5. Hat-trick in the first half for João Pedro, and 2 other goals for him in the second half. Let's talk about Enzo's header. Let's talk about Jamie Gittins. Let's talk about Pedro Neto. And so on and so on. On a good day, these are clear-cut chances. Look at Jamie Gittins miscuing it was just a tapping to the side of the post, and the ball would be in the net. You see the net dancing, but man, the ball has still not landed. I went outside to check, and the ball has still not landed. The ball is still traveling. That's how hard Jamie Gittins hit the ball. So they dominated in all phases of the game, from the back to the front and everything. They did not give Tottenham breathing space. But where it mattered most, we keep letting ourselves down. It was an absolute dominance. Plenty of chances, two or three big ones just for João Pedro on in the first half. But only one goal to show. The missed chances in the second half, the third ones that would have taken pressure off us, and right now we are now out of we are sitting below the top four. Why? Because of the game that ended yesterday, and because of goal difference. These things matter. They do matter. So I hope that Maresca will also address this, because we cannot be losing and missing chances like this. It is not. It is not it. We're top. We don't. Okay, so it just shows that the Premier League we don't score as many goals as we used to. All teams are tightening up and shoring up their defenses and all that. And against Tottenham, we had the opportunity to climb up if we had converted our chances. And these things, I hope they don't let us down on the long run. Okay, so we have plenty of work to do to cut out all this profligacy. That's just it, because one goal from the entire number of chances we had against Tottenham, for me, is underwhelming. Could have put the game to bed early as 30th minute. And then we'll talk about the mindset and the psychological edge. Now, this is the thing. Yeah, whenever Chelsea are up against a rival, say Chelsea's going to be playing against Arsenal, the normal top four, top six rivals, Man United, Manchester City, Liverpool, Tottenham, and all that, they are always very switched on. Now, how is it that they cannot translate this into other games when they are up, when they go against middle table teams? Why? You go against top teams, you match them toe to toe, and you show them that you've got it in you and all. But why are we not translating? Why are we not doing this against middle and bottom teams? This is the problem, and this is why Arsenal, they are not challenged. They are running away with the league already, with 8 point gaps between Chelsea and Arsenal. No one is challenging them. The difference is that Arsenal will go toe to toe with the top teams, and then still go toe to toe and give a complete dominance against middle and bottom teams. That's the difference. We need to show maturity, and we need to learn to kill games. We can't just be switched on and be ready to go against top teams. We should be ready to go against any team at that. As long as you're in the Premier League, Chelsea should be ready to go against any team. That's just it. And the mindset of these players needs to change. It needs to change. It's okay. It would have been shambolic if Chelsea had not won the game against Tottenham, because no matter what, Chelsea do not lose against Tottenham. When was the last time they won against Chelsea? In 2019. Chelsea have played nearly 50 to 80 games, and Tottenham have only managed to win 9, if I'm not mistaken. So The results just continue to show the pattern. Chelsea have won 5 in a row, 6 out of the last 7 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tottenham, the Tottenham fans booed them off, and Chelsea padded their psychological head. That Chelsea just wiped the floor with Tottenham. The only thing that let us down was the goal. Okay, the missed chances. We failed to convert our dinner, eat our dinner, and that's just it. And then the fifth one, we'll talk about tactical changes and substitution. Maresca made 10 changes from the cup tie, showing squad depth. Okay, Spurs, meanwhile, opted for rotations too, but lacked impetus. And Tottenham's Van der Ven and Spence briefly appeared to snub their manager. You needed to have seen the way they snubbed Thomas Frank. I felt sorry for him when he went on. He went to try to encourage his players, the Tottenham players, Jet Spence, and Van der Ven, but they didn't they just didn't ignore him. Their body language was like they were fuming at him. Man, you're the one on the pitch. Even though Thomas Frank was the one who did the setup and all that, you're the one on the pitch. What did you do? And all that. So we'll talk about the Maresca. Maresca has shown time and time again that he's not an average manager. Okay, he keeps showing it, especially against top teams. He doesn't feel, he's not scared to go against any top manager. Okay, and most times than not, he is showing that he knows what he's doing. Okay, but the problem I have with him is that sometimes he overcooks and then ends up messing it up. And that's the issue with a lot of these top managers. When Guardiola decides to fumble, he fumbles it, and it becomes very obvious to everyone. Same thing with the rest of this thing. We're also seeing the situation with Hansi Flick and other managers around, elite managers. When they decide to fumble, they fumble, and the fumbling is unfathomable. It's unexplainable. That's just it. So his tactics and setup sometimes just make you feel like, oh, we've got one of the best upcoming managers, because this is his third year stint as a manager in in general. But I just wish that Chelsea would just give him the needed materials. The squad we have, the players we have are good players. Okay, but how many, aside Cole Palmer and Esteval in the attack, how many difference makers do we have? Joao, Liam Delap is prone to injury, as we can see, and João Pedro is also playing through pain and all, and that's why Maresca confirmed that he doesn't train all the time because they have to manage players. We also have Mrs. Kaisedo. Thank God we have Kaisedo. Enzo Fernandez. So I failed to even mention Enzo Fernandez in my to give honors to Enzo Fernandez. The man is brilliant. He's so integral to the Chelsea setup, Maresca's plan. Okay, off the ball, the way he drags opponents up, away from their space, okay, to create opening for other players to run in. That's how smart and brilliant Enzo Fernandez is, and a lot of fans do not even understand how important, how much ground, and how much work Enzo Fernandez does. His combination with even Garnacho kept giving Pedro Porro headache. Pedro Porro was he kept setting up Garnacho in 1v1 situations against Porro, and Porro was not comfortable. You could see that Porro wants to attack, but he cannot afford to attack so much. Why? Because He does that and then he leaves his space open if he does. So yeah, that's how brilliant I want to say Maresca is. And to finish up with what does this mean for Chelsea and the next step? Okay, top four. This should be a springboard again. And I hope that when we're up against when we go against Karabakh, okay, or Wolves in the next Premier League match, that they don't end up messing it up. They don't fumble it like they fumbled it after beating Liverpool. They fumbled against Sunderland, and then now winning against Tottenham. And I hope that they don't mess it up. The problem is, okay, because of the lack of experience that a lot of the players have. Um, Liam Delap, Esteva William, Gittins, we're going to be seeing or witnessing a lot of inconsistency, and that's my fear. That's my fear. I just hope that the level of inconsistency will not cost Chelsea this season. Okay, now Chelsea find themselves out of the top four owing to goal difference. Okay, and the fact that we didn't convert our chances as we ought to. Okay, that's on the team. That's on us. Okay, and I hope that they can build momentum from this, and then Chelsea should learn to finish with more authority. For Tottenham, they've just only shown that despite all the players that they have in their team, they're just a bang average team. They There are lots of glaring questions about their creativity, their pressing. For some reason, they just looked out of pace. They didn't look just one step behind. They looked like 3, 4, 10 steps behind each time there was a duel. Chelsea, especially Fofana, kept winning everything. Kept winning everything. They couldn't win even a duel, ground duel. Chelsea was edging them. Area duels, Chelsea edged everything. And I forgot to mention other players like Sanchez, because Sanchez against Tottenham was, I saw it different. I was so comfortable when he first claimed the first ball aerially. I knew that Sanchez was in to give us a good game, and everything he did was spot on, from the delivery of his passes, the hand, the leg, and everything, long balls and everything, claims and everything was spot on. And he's come out to say that he's in a very good position. He gets the backing of the team, the support of the fans, and everyone is behind it, and that's helping him. And I hope that it continues. Long may it rain. Okay, apart from the mistake, should I call it mistake, against Manchester United, he has been pretty decent. He has been pretty decent, and it's showing that he's improving. Okay, so to wrap up, that's my 6 talking points. Okay, the 1-0 double win for Chelsea, full of good signs, but also clear areas to improve. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Who stood out for you? Are Spurs in trouble? Are Chelsea really turning the corner? Until next time, stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and please share this video. Don't forget also to like, and we'll be back. I'll be here to give you guys my match preview for the game against Karabakh in the Champions League. Until we meet again, it's Chelsea first, rivals next. Peace.